Dear our beloved followers, teachers, MUZTP staff, all partners of MUZTP, you are all highly welcome on Mawe Karambe Teachers TV. This is teacher journalist MUKARAGE, of course, together with teacher journalist Emmanuel Rafasha. How do you feel, Mr. Emmanuel?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm okay.
Yes.
Our today's news is going to focus on Science Hour that started in Kamonyi and Kayonza district, and also on face-to-face training prepared by MUZTP conducted in 14 districts. This training focused on how teachers can make effective assessment based on Bloom's taxonomy. Dear our beloved followers, during this news, we have interviews of different participants from different districts across the country. Pictures that shows ongoing of training from different centers, and finally interview from Director of MUZTP, Dr. MENYA OTIENO.
Thank you, Eric MUKARAGE. Welcome once again on Mawe Karambe Teachers TV. Dear teachers, we appreciate your hard work. Dear our beloved followers, beloved partners, MUZTP in Rwanda started a period called the Science Hour in Kamonyi and Kayonza district. This Science Hour is very important on both teachers and students because it helps them to discuss and share ideas, devising some previous unity, and create the spirit of working collaboratively in our students. As teacher Hatangibabazi Jean-Baptiste from Jesse Nyamiyaga in Kamonyi district, and David NIYITEGEKA, district coordinator of RUSIZI district, explained for us. Let us listen to them respectively in their own voices. Welcome, Baptiste and David.
I want to share with you the meaning of Science Hour and their importance for the learners. Science Hour, it is a period provided and realized by schools in collaboration with the MUZTP to promote mathematics and sciences. This period took place every Wednesday afternoon from 3 p.m. up to 4 p.m. So this hour help learners to revise lessons, discuss and share different skills in mathematics and sciences. So during this period, help learners to increase their collaboration spirit, and it help learner to like mathematics and sciences subject.
I am just here to share with you the importance of Science Hour, which is currently in Kayonza and Kamonyi districts. We actually try to talk a little bit, and there are some teachers knowing this Science Hour currently, which is in Kamonyi and Kayonza. We want to share it with other teachers of other districts to know the importance of Science Hour. What is the main importance? What is the main importance of this Science Hour in our timetable? It is very important that our students, our teachers, and all of us, teachers of math and sciences, it is very important that we are to have Science Hour where students and teachers discuss about the things that are complicated, the units that are complicated, to try to figure out how they can make them simple. In this period of Science Hour, it is where all those problems are being solved. So we want to share this with other districts that would like to see them having this Science Hour in the timetable. Of course, the DDEs, SCOs, head teachers, DOCs, we are to talk to them. We are to actually try to have this good conversation, to be having them also being convinced about this Science Hour, which is very important in our timetable. As a teacher, we have to benefit. We have to benefit from it. Students also have to benefit from this Science Hour, where they can know some of the application of subjects that are sciences, biology, chemistry, physics, and how we all use, in all of those 3 subjects, we use mathematics to make it better. Even though the units are complicated, this is where they will be very simple. Students will be able to know that science hour is very important, is coming to try to strengthen them in modern sciences. So we actually need to hear a number of people requesting that they need a science hour in their timetable. Of course, the teachers were waiting for them to try to train their students that science hour is very important. Now I can speak to teachers of Kayonza and Kamonyi that we have to be in the mood of science hour, where it will help us to strengthen our students, help our students to understand those lessons are even difficult. Actually, there are some units we are trying to highlight where students will try to understand and try to help themselves. Also, they will be taking them home to facilitate, to help themselves within the family, within their parents will also have to help them to jump in their assignments, to jump in their homework, their activity to help them understand better and better. So we will continue working together, so trying to strengthen where there is weak, but there is still a room of improvement. Of course, you have to help us to make things better and better. So thank you very much, my people. I really appreciate your contribution. I really value your support that you are giving us champion teachers. You are giving us actually I can even speak it in behalf of the students that you are helping them. We thank you very much, teachers. Thank you very much, students. We have to actually work together, make education better of math and sciences.
Thank you, Baptiste and David, for your great message. Dear our followers, let us follow different videos that show different activities done by students and teachers during science hour.
Dear our followers, Dr. Erin always encourages teachers to sacrifice, to work in Mawe Karambe spirit, as well as training students to do so. In Mawe Karambe spirit, Dr. Erin visited teachers at training center in Western Province, and after she engaged in beans processing for some families. So, as teachers also, let us keep pushing in our teaching in order to promote quality of education. Dear our followers, let us take a Mawe Karambe short break and see readers in education, teachers, students singing and dancing a Mawe Karambe song. A Mawe Karambe song in MCTP is a sign of sacrifice in teaching and running process, like a mother who perform many activities with carrying a child on her back. Be singing your song.
Thank you so much for your participation in dancing Mawe Karambe songs. Dear our followers, as my colleague said, on the 22nd and the 23rd May, mathematics and sciences teachers from 14 districts had face-to-face training. Our ambassador district interviewed Mr. Alphonse DDE in Nyaruguru. DDE started by thanking MCTP on well organizing this training, positive impact that will begin both on learners and teachers. He ended by giving some recommendation on teachers and MCTP. Dear our beloved followers, let us follow his message. Welcome, DDE.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
May you please tell us your names and your position?
My name is SINABAJIJE ALPHONSE. I'm the District Director of Education in NYAMASHEKE District.
Okay, thank you. So, how do you see the training prepared by MZ Teacher Training Program?
The training is well organized and it's very important because it's like touching on the very sensitive part of our secondary education, where this STEM subject like mathematics, biology, chemistry and physics, they are like subject considered as being difficult, not only for students, even for teachers. So having like a training like this one, where teachers are being trained on how to improve their teaching experiences and even how they can encourage even students to like sciences and to pursue like sciences in the higher education, is something very good and we really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. What is your recommendation to the teachers who attended the training after observing them in this session of training?
What I can recommend to them is just to try to implement the knowledge they acquire in these trainings. Some people attend the trainings, but when they are back in their schools, they never change anything. They keep on doing things as usual. So what we want our teachers to do is just to learn from trainings and then to implement the knowledge they gain through these trainings. That is what I really recommend them.
Okay, thank you. What is your recommendation to MZ Teacher Training Program as your partner in education for improvement for next training sessions?
I have like two recommendations. First, I would like to recommend it to AIMS to really train facilitators to ensure that those people who are being facilitators, they are really qualified to be facilitators. So they should be well prepared, they should be well equipped so that they may be real facilitators. Because some facilitators, even they are at the level which might be even below the ones of teachers. So they need to be on a level which is a little bit higher than the one of the ones they are helping. So that is like my first recommendation. Secondly, I would like to recommend that English should be like given much emphasis in these trainings as a medium of training. Secondary schools, secondary teachers, they need to use English. English is a medium of instruction, and most of our teachers, they have different levels of English. So when they are together like this, it's better for them to use English. So we don't want to mean that Kinyarwanda should not be used. Yes, it can be mixed sometimes when there is a difficulty that cannot be solved without using it, but the medium of instruction should be English, and people should be even told that English must be used wherever they are, as long as they are in even the training center, they have to use English. So that is my second recommendation, and I think if these two recommendations are worked on, we will keep on having a good quality of science teachers in the NYAMASHEKE district.
Thank you, Didi. Is there anything you can say just to close this?
Yeah, something that I wanted to add. I don't know much about like AIMS and its mission, but training teachers, this is one thing, but it's better if people can even reach teachers when they are teaching. So like visiting some teachers and observe how they are teaching, because it can even give a further area of focus.
Okay, thank you, Didi. Thank you.
Thank you, DDE Alphonse, for your great message. Dear our followers, in Mawe Karambe studio, we have an interview of HONORE DUKUZUMUREMYI, MSTTP District Coordinator in MUSANZE District. Teacher HONORE talked about on what went well in face-to-face training. She ended by recommending MSTTP Rwanda some area to improve. Let us listen to her. Welcome, HONORE.
I'm taking this opportunity to share with you what went well in the May face-to-face training. In the trainings was well organized with all requirements, training booklets prepared together with champion teachers and MSTTP staff. The topic to be taught was well discussed with interesting points like Bloom's taxonomy. We discussed on how to blueprint assessment, because there is no teaching without the assessment. During that training, we discussed about Bloom's taxonomy, blueprinting, how we analyzed the result, the outcome from the second term assessment, which was prepared by at district level. All of this was to have the common understanding and skills about assessment policy. The teachers got training materials on time, and the materials were enough. The number we expected to have was not the same, because we had the new teachers, but AIMS provided all materials for even unexpected teachers. The trainees came at a high level. That is where we welcome many new teachers, even they are new, but they came because they know already the importance of being trained by AIMS TTP. The training was well prepared and well organized. This demonstrates that teachers are aware of the benefit of attending AIMS TTP trainings.
Thank you, Honore MUSANZE District Coordinator, for being with us in Mawe Karambe Teachers TV. Dear our followers, as we had new teachers in face-to-face training, we had new teacher Reverie from Kamonyi District said that he had learned how to assess learners. He ended by giving some explanation on cognitive levels and link them with some examples. Let us welcome him.
I have learned many things. For example, I have learned how I can make a good assessment where each and every learner can get what he can answer in order to get marks. Even the one who are so weak can answer and get marks from the assessment by following those different levels of Bloom taxonomy, starting from knowledge up to the creation. Those levels should be reflected about in order to let each and every learner to be integrated in the assessment. There are many levels of cognitive. I can say like 4 levels of cognitive. Conceptual level, it involves the question that can be answered by the learner without thinking many things, like finding the surface area of square. It is easy for the learner, even the one who is weak, to get the correct answer without thinking many things. There is procedural level where a learner can apply what he has answered. For example, how he can find the surface area of a given field. He can use the mathematical formulas of finding the surface area of rectangle or square if the field given it is in the form of those figures. And metaphysics, it is the combination of conceptual and factual empirical, where each and learner can answer by showing deep knowledge about what is going to do. For example, you can move out from one place to another and you know how to move, but how quick you can reach the place where you want to go. Another example in mathematics, you can give the learner the question is where he or she can discuss for showing that he or he has understood the topic was given. There are many things and how I can be with the learners, how I can motivate during their learning process. So I would like to tell you things, but thank you.
Thank you, teacher Reverie, for your great message. Dear our followers, we have also teacher Tegejo Pacific explained what he understood by the term Bloom taxonomy and encouraged his fellow teachers to link objectives of the lesson with the activities to be done during teaching and learning activities. Let us listen to him.
These 2 days of training have been so fruitful on my side due to the fact that I have deeply understood what Bloom taxonomy is and how the levels are interconnected from the simplest to the complex. I have also learned how an effective assessment should be set basing on the levels of Bloom's taxonomy and at the same time linking them with the set learning objectives of the lesson. As an American psychologist and researcher, Alice, she did say that no 2 people are alike. It means that the application of Bloom's taxonomy covers all different learning styles and learning problems of children. In other words, when we are teaching, we should be considering different learning styles of the learners, which will help you to match your objectives and assessment. In a nutshell, the teaching and learning process is going to be more effective and more pleasurable than ever before. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tegeto Pacific, for your wonderful message. Dear our followers, let us listen to the message of Director of MUZTTP, Dr. MENYA OTIENO, talking about last face-to-face training. She explained clearly Bloom's taxonomy and how to assess learners in a positive way. She ended by encouraging teachers to attend CPDs during science hour. So, let us welcome her.
Hello, my teachers. It's with great pleasure that I speak to you again. We had our face-to-face training. We know that in day one, we looked again at Bloom taxonomy and we used it to blueprint the district assessments. And in day two, we looked at some of the data from district assessment, what it is telling us about our students, how the girls are performing versus the boys, what are some of the factors that made students not do very well. We also looked at how the performance in term 2 compared to term 1 and many other factors. And then we also spent some time discussing some of the key mistakes that our students made in specific topics. Why did they get it wrong? What are some of the key errors? Now, all this was not just because we want to improve our assessment, the quality of our assessment, let's say next term in first term, but part of it, most importantly rather, was that we use this understanding to improve the way we teach. We use this understanding to think more seriously or critically about the things to emphasize on when we are teaching our students. So if we discovered that students made mistakes or some of the mistakes they made in topic A, these are some of the mistakes, then when I'm teaching, I need to point out those mistakes and tell the students to be more careful so that they don't make mistakes. But let me come back to assessment. I know we did Bloom taxonomy. We looked at the different levels of thinking from level 1 to level 4, that is if we collapse them. And what I would like to encourage you going forward is to think about at what level are you teaching? Because what we assess, we should only assess what we have taught. So when you go to class, at what level do you teach? And how can you find that out? You can find that out by looking at your lesson plan and looking at your objectives. By the end of this lesson, I want the students to, if your objectives are saying to list, to define, and they're not going to the level of saying to explain, to apply, then you know you need to improve your objectives so that when you are teaching, you teach both at level 1 but across all the levels. So the next activity that we're going to do in our school-based CPD, which I want to announce now, is that through the help of our heads of departments, we're going to sit down with a set of our lesson plans and we're going to look at our lesson objectives and we're going to blueprint our lesson objectives. Which level of thinking do they represent? And then we are going to reflect and make a commitment to improve our teaching so that when we are teaching, we do not just teach students how to define and list, but we also get the students to explain and apply. And the kind of questions we ask them are also at the different level. So we will continue discussing with your head teachers. The next level of engagement is our school-based CPD. And remember what we said, if you do not participate in school-based CPD, it will not be possible for you to come for the next face-to-face training. But I know we are going to do that because we are going to overcome all challenges to ensure we have a school-based CPD at least once every week or once every 2 weeks, because we are going to apply our spirit of Mawe Karambe, Mawe Karambe, Mawe. I'll be talking to you again soon, hearing about your reports on your school-based CPD. Over and out, and thank you very much for being an AIMS TTP teacher.
Thank you, AIMS TTP Director, Dr. Erin, and all AIMS TTP staff Special thanks to our beloved followers, and great thanks to our TV technician, Teacher Karangwa Innocent, and our chief news editor, Bikorimana Martin, who are always behind the scene. Dear our beloved followers, even if some people have been vaccinated against COVID-19, but coronavirus is still around, wear face mask properly, keep social distancing, and wash your hands regularly in order to save our lives. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.